What is openness and attention? It's the basic building blocks of love. That's why I used those words when I made it up. Open attention. Because I can tell somebody step by step what to do with a painful emotion. Like, let's say I had a friend who got cancer. How can I help her deal with these emotions? If I tell her, oh, you just have to love what's going on, she's going to kick me out of the room. And rightfully so, because I'm telling her something that's way beyond her grasp at this moment, because she is absolutely hating that perceived threat on her life. So I can say to her, here it is, it's a part of you that needs help, which opens the door to a different approach than war, right? When you think, as long as you unconsciously hold that the stressful thing in your life is a threat or an enemy, then you only have the opportunity to encounter it with war. That's it. That's the only choice you have. The stressful thing comes up, you go to war. So the first shift is to say, wait a minute, it's not a threat or an enemy. It's a part of you that needs help. With that, the other path toward peace becomes available. And then, of course, we have to establish that, because now we have done 3 million times go to war with the negative emotion that comes up. And that's a really deep groove. So it's a deep habit. So whenever that happens, we're going to go to war. But now once you've tried the peace thing, and it worked, and so you have to remember it, and you have to create this pathway also in your brain. What happens, your brain restructures itself physically. New neurons form when you have these kind of insights. Your brain physically changes. That happens from what you're learning here. This is profound stuff. Because like I said, when somebody considers the emotion, like let's say they've had 20 years of fighting with their husband. And whenever he does something, there's this deep frustration, right? So whenever that gets triggered, she encounters this pathway of going to war, which means going into frustration. And she may just keep that inside of her, but it's just always there. And she has done this for 3 million times, to go to frustration, frustration, frustration every time he makes that particular face or whatever it is. You know how people get triggered. So you have to start to do it very carefully. Okay, understand, not an enemy, your emotion. First of all, the problem isn't him. The problem is in you, first step. Second step, what arises the emotion is not a threat. Here is the pathway to peace. Try this one. Right? She tries it, she feels better. Right? That encourages that new pathway. But that's just 1 against 3 million. So guess which one she's going to use the next time this comes up. And the next time and the next time. She's still going to go there. So she has to practice this. We all have to practice this. We have to open the pathway to peace inside of us. You see? So that's why when you were frustrated and you thought that you should know what to do, you couldn't go that new pathway yet. You went the old way, into war. And it's always a war we can only lose, because it's a war against yourself. So when we keep repeating that, eventually what happens is that the old pathway to war gets weaker and weaker, because you're not traveling there anymore. You're traveling more and more here. And then something comes and it's particularly juicy and strong, and you'll still go there, right? But then you, after the fact, you repair it. You say, okay, what did I do today when I was flipping out about John, right? And you go back and you revisit that situation. And you look at the emotions and do open attention, and you look at the thoughts and you do the work, and you repair this flawed connection in your brain. And you free yourself of the habitual war that you've just gone into again. Free yourself of the momentary tensions and the old habit.